So when we watch the best players in the world hit their shots, it looks so effortless, so easy. They make a nice athletic setup to the golf ball. Lovely crisp strike. Create some great club head speed. Get the low point ahead so that they hit golf ball and then turf. And they get some fantastic carry and a great total. Now, like I said, they're the best players in the world. And I think very often for club golfers, they hit the occasional shot like that, but not really sure how they've done it. And often golfers aren't hitting the ball far enough, so they stand over a shot and they'll make a swing. And even though the strike's good and the speed's decent, the contact can be a bit inconsistent and they lose a lot of distance and a lot of accuracy. And the feedback I get for a lot of golfers is, particularly in coaching sessions, is they'll feel that they've really rushed their downswing. And often they'll tell me that they've swung too quickly. And I would say almost none of the time the swing's been too quick. I wouldn't disagree that they've tried to hit the ball too hard. So what I'm going to run through in today's video is a great little drill and a feeling of how you can stop rushing the downswing, kind of make that magic move like you see the best players in the world do, and help you understand how by using the ground correctly, you can kind of generate effortless power in the golf swing to hit the ball further and still with lots and lots of control. Now, I know what you're thinking, that sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Less effort, more power, longer shots with more control. Well, keep watching. So, like I said, I think most golfers just don't really get the sequencing in the golf swing in the same way that the top players in the world do. So if I talk you through kind of how I see the best players in the world go from the top of their backswing down to impact, and then kind of more often what I'll see with, we'll call it amateur golfers or recreational golfers. So once the best players in the world get to the top of their golf swing, and it's actually just slightly before they get to the top, it's as the club's working up towards the top, they're already starting to move their pressure, pushing into that lead leg. That gets the legs working, the hips unwind, then they stop, the torso unwinds into the arms and into the club. And as a result, it really doesn't look like they're putting that much effort in, but we build that power up through the bigger parts of the body into the club head. Now, having said that, I kind of tend to see a little bit of the opposite with a lot of golfers. So they'll tend to make a pretty decent movement to the top, but we'll actually even feel that they stop at the top. And now they need to get from here down to that golf ball. And because they're quite keen to hit it hard, it tends to be very hands, arms, shoulders going first, body reacting, then legs last. And whereas you'll see the best players in the world very much at that position at impact, you'll tend to see a lot of club golfers much more like that. So even if you manage to strike it well, you're just presenting a lot more loft and there's a lot more manipulation of the club required. So now we understand what the difference is. How can we get you feeling a more similar sensation? Well, it's dead easy. So all I'm going to ask you to do is set up and just make some little waist height to waist height swings to begin with. So just back and through, back and through. And whether you're touching the ground or not, I want you to pay attention to kind of how you push into your feet, down into your feet. And what you'll feel is as the club's going back, to get it to move, you push down into your trail foot. That gets the club moving. And then to get the club to change direction, you have to move your pressure into your front foot. That applies some force to the club. And that gets the club changing directions. And even if you were to hit a shot with that little swing, you'll already see a decent distance. So we can see a solid strike, pretty decent club head speed, carrying 149 yards and 163 for not much more than a little waist height, feels like a flick. So what I want you to do is, if you can do a few of those little half swings to begin with, then start gradually getting a little bit longer. So we're going to go a little further and keep it continuous so you can get that feel as to how to get the club changing direction. You push down on your feet. And what you'll find is, as the club's moving back, the harder you push down into that lead foot, the more force on the club, the quicker the club moves, and therefore, with a good strike, the further you'll hit the golf ball. Right, so let's do a couple of fairly full swings, maybe 3/4 to begin with. And it really doesn't feel like I'm putting much effort into that. So let's hit a shot, feeling a bit more 3/4. I'm going to press down into that trail foot and then into the lead foot before I get to the top of my backswing. Again, feels so easy, so effortless. More club head speed than I generated at the start at 87 mile an hour. And all of a sudden 175 carry and 183. Now I know what you're thinking. It seems easy, doesn't it? It does, but the more you focus on trying to hit the golf ball, we'll get tension in the golf swing and that old movement pattern will reappear. So we want to feel now a couple of full swings. And honestly, I'm not really trying to do anything with my arms. I'm just letting that chain reaction from here push into that lead foot. As I push, the hip moves back, the hip moves out the way, torso unwinds, arms, and then the club fires last of all. So push hard into that trail foot for the backswing. Probably as I feel my hands get just past waist height, I'm already trying to change direction. I'm going to push really hard into that lead foot. And let's see if I can get that effortless power by not feeling rushed. So probably wasn't the best strike, a little out the toe, but 91 mile an hour club head speed, low point ahead, so I've got that nice crisp strike, 177 carry and 183 total. And it's such a great feeling, and particularly when I get guys face to face and we work on this, the difference in strike, distance and control is huge. So if you're working through this video with me, comment below and let me know as you're trying this, how are you finding it? It might be that actually with that 3/4 feeling swing, you're actually getting more power, more control than ever. And for now, you might be happy with that feeling. So we're kind of going to use the ground, push down into that trail foot to get the club going back. As my hands are getting past waist height, I'm going to push hard down into that lead foot. And let's see if we can get a nice, crisp strike, great shot, just like the best players in the world seem to do. Struck it great. 92 mile an hour club head speed. Love to see my low point a little further forward. But 184 carry and 190 total. And if you can feel that you use the ground better, and I know it's a very popular subject now about how we use the ground, but it's just like when you walk, you push from one foot to another. If you can learn how to push into the ground to get the club moving and push in the ground to change direction, that's going to get you hitting the ball better than ever, but with that magic move to stop you rushing your downswing. Right then guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it, comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. There's another video just there that hopefully will help with your game. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.